Welcome back to the Heclapar versus Wirraway play-by-mail campaign, where it is the 27th of February. Oh, nice. One of the bases around Calcutta flipped to us, which is good. Will make repositioning forces for the attack in Calcutta easier. Clearing mines at Madras. I-22. Trying to hit some of the shipping at Suva. Just trying to keep this remnant from being able to escape. Airfield suppression missions at Bandoing. You can sustain these, and I think we've talked about this before, as long as you have adequate aviation support in your hex and you run your bombing missions with 40% rest. You can essentially fly missions every day to weather allows with little or no ops losses. As a Japanese, it can be difficult to have enough aviation support in the hex. Allies don't have this problem. Though the Japanese aircraft, some of them, most of them have the advantage of being simpler to maintain. Seventeens continue to hit my Special Naval Landing Force company. Lots of recon. Okay, let's see what's. So here's our first deliberate attack at Changsha. So this is not a particularly good result for us. You can see about 3 to 1 disabled. Um, Similar number of destroyed. These numbers don't really matter here. The good news is, in general, he will not be able to recover his disabled squads while we will. It's good to see we're getting a prep bonus, but he's getting leader, which is interesting. We're not getting an experience bonus, so it's going to be a good fight to Changsha, but it's all good. We got to keep grinding away with a skilled allied opponent who defends only in good terrain. Okay, the 16th Light Cavalry Regiment doesn't escape. Looks like it didn't have much luck to it. The Royal Thai Army is just about fully prepped. Interesting. Looks like he's either trying to destroy one of his units or not sure what it was. Presumably, it crossed over into the hex from a riverside, and his unadjusted AV had dropped below the 1/3 required, so he shock attacked. But I don't actually know what he's doing. And we'll speed through the end of the turn. Pretty quiet turn, other than we'll check out what happened at Changsha. First, just check in overall, kind of talk a bit about points, spend maybe a little bit of time on that. Notice the air losses. We're still at about 3 to 1 in our favor. Our operational losses are modest considering the number of sorties we fly, and that goes back to having enough AV and running aircraft at 40% rest for the constant missions, because we've been flying supply missions and bombing missions at Bandoing and supply missions in China every day for a month, and with almost no ops losses. You may be looking, these numbers 2 to 1 are low compared to some games you'll see. That's primarily, again, because of Heclapar's uh, decision to only defend in good terrain and his generally good uh, tactics. So Chinese army losses are low compared to many players. And of course, we haven't uh, pushed through in the Philippines. I don't rush that. And we still have quite a few points bottled up here at Tumalo that we haven't harvested yet. Let's just check on. You can see they're almost prepped. They're not prepped for this hex. That doesn't matter. You want to get them up to 100% and then get their experience and morale up. Uh, and again, you can use these bottom up units to give green units a chance to see the elephant. I'll do the same thing in the Philippines with all those naval guard units that start showing up in February and March. 46, you can see the 41st and 43rd, 47th, 44th, 48th. All those Naval Guard units can go to the Philippines and fight for a month or so, recover, and gain experience before they're deployed to the front lines in preparation for the eventual Allied counterattacks expected in CENTPAC and SOPAC. We're going to talk about Changsha. Let's take a look and see what happened here. So 39th Division was wrecked. The other divisions are all in decent shape, except the 1st Division. It's a veteran division. It will recover pretty quickly. So that's actually not a bad outcome. One division wrecked, and we'll pull it out, rotate it out, and cover and keep fighting. And eventually, at this, with this many troops fighting, he will burn up his remaining supply quite quickly. Even then, with the way the Greek speak game works, you get some odd results. Units out of supply, still fighting quite effectively. We saw this flip, Chassor flipped, so now we'll rail units in. Again, these are all river hexes, so it doesn't change the fact you still end up having to cross a river, shock attack into the hex, but now there's no railing any of his units out. These units that are there are there to die. We're not going to chase him into Bangalore. Bangalore has a garrison of 140 and it does have some heavy industry, but I just can't afford to tie down a third of a division in garrison at Bangalore. So not really going to worry about fighting for Bangalore. Instead, again, our push is going to be up towards Hyderabad and on to Bombay, while paratroopers secure the mountainous bases between the Bengal region and Burma. And it will advance. You can see we're going to advance on Magway now. Since recon shows he hasn't built up any of these bases, Lasho is still level 2, so pretty confident we can defend the oil of Magway effectively with the forces we have available without distracting from offensive operations. So we're going to move units into the hex, bomb these exposed units out of existence, and flip this hex sometime in the next week or so. Meanwhile, we'll prepare for our Terracon invasion and reorganize and prepare for another attack on Vanduing. And again, the slow, steady buildup of our forces in the Philippines to be able to drive him eventually back to Bataan. Let's take a look. So you can see um, these experienced infantry regiments of the 28th Division, they really aren't suffering. You get these horrific looking bombardment numbers. They're essentially recovering the damage at the same rate he's inflicting it. So nothing's really um, a problem here. We'll move the engineers of the 56th Division out. 30th, 36 regiments benefit from having those engineers in the hex in terms of digging in, but we'll move them out once the 56 is assembled. So we've got a couple green Naval Guards units are arriving, and the last regiment of the 20th Division is here. So we're improving our position. We need to build up the Gula Island and some depth behind it. Let's check. We're flying him out. This is Norfolk Island isn't defensible for me. I do have a veteran division available in this theater, but that's about all I've got. It's time to start moving the carriers back here. Evolutions are quiet. So we're gonna grab these bases and start building up Shima with engineers that are done building up Chikuka. It's at port size 6, airfield is size 1, so that sums to 7. So now it's got barrage balloons, so it's fine. And now we can take those engineers and use them to develop essentially a transit base for aircraft into the Aleutians. Okay, well, quiet-ish turn, but our Calcutta offensive is just about ready. As soon as the armor unit takes this hex, then we can rail the units we need into Jessore or Howrah, and then launch our assault in Calcutta from there. So, all good. Looking forward to our next chance to talk.